Hey y'all. All right, let's get started on this, okay? Okay, I had a request to make a video about checking fluids, primarily engine oil, but I thought I would extend it to everything under the hood. So that brings about a couple of things I need to tell you really quick right off the bat. One, this is only going to be focused on the fluids under the hood, okay? Stuff in the engine bay. Secondly, this is mainly, if you haven't picked up on it already, this is mainly for the newbies, the people who don't know any better, who don't know how to do this. Okay? So that's where this is aimed at. So I want to make something comprehensive that shows them as a guide how to do this. Okay? How to, check your fluids in your engine bay of your vehicle. So let's flip this around here and get started. Okay, we've got the 94 Dodge Ram 3500 dually here with its V10 engine. Yes, I know it is much, much older, but the basics are all here. Now, one of the most important things I'm going to tell you about is where your vehicle is sitting at. As you can see, mine is sitting in the driveway here. I've got two more over here in my front yard. The one sitting here in my driveway is very unlevel. So checking fluids here wouldn't do me any good. Okay. Now if I pull it on in here, right there, it does work because that's much more level. This, however, is not. So have where you're checking your fluids at, make sure it's very, very level. Okay. Very, very important. Now, you're going to probably be thinking you're going to need to get some kind of special towels or rags or something like that. No. I've got napkins here from Chick-fil-A, fast food napkins, paper towels from your kitchen, tissues that you normally would blow your nose on. Anything like that will work. Okay? It doesn't have to be anything special. All right, so any of those items will work. Now you will notice here I have transmission fluid marked right there. But you will also notice that the transmission fluid tube, dipstick tube, is very large. Look at the size. It's much larger than your engine oil dipstick tube. Look at it. It's much smaller. Another thing is your transmission fluid dipstick is very, very long. Usually really long. Engine oil is usually shorter, smaller. Okay? Also, you'll notice that the engine oil dipstick is up here towards the front of the engine, where it is usually, not always, and your transmission fluid is at the back. Again, usually, but not always. So let's go look at something else. Now, transmission fluid, automatic transmission fluid, is the only one that we have to start the engine up on to check it. Engine oil, however, you don't. Engine needs to be shut off and can be cold. Transmission fluid, however, needs to be warmed up to get an accurate reading. So, let's check the engine oil here real quick. Alright, so we pull the dipstick out completely. We clean it off, all the oil and any kind of residue. We just clean it and we put it back in the dipstick tube. Now you'll notice this dipstick tube goes to the back of the engine. You also notice this engine oil dipstick is pretty long too. But that's okay. You see, it's marked engine oil. So we're going to come over here. Okay. Let's zoom in if we can. good grief. Okay, yeah, see? Add. We're about in the little bit above the middle. Now, if you can't get an accurate reading, flip it over. Yeah, just flip it over, and you get a more accurate reading. Yeah, see? There we go. Either way, but also, if you look on here, on your dipstick, it has all kinds of information like check with vehicle level, do not overfill, see owner's manual, and for your oil type. Now, some vehicles, they'll even have the oil type on top of the cap. This truck does that. Let's see down there. Yeah. Okay. Now, transmission fluid, we're going to check that, but we're going to have to start the engine up first. So, now over here, like I said earlier, the ground is very level, so we don't have to worry too much about that. That's not a problem here. I'll tell you what, you just come with me. We'll start this up. So here we go. You know, this truck has 272,268 miles on it. Now, normally the transmission needs to be warmed up by driving. In this particular case, I don't have that luxury. So we're just going to check it like it is with it cold. Okay? But you get the point. See? Hot, cold marks up there. This, we're going to just clean the dipstick off. And we've got the dipstick cleaned off now. And there's your cold range. There's your hot range. We need to be at least down in here with automatic transmission. We're in park. We in park or in neutral, preferably in neutral. So I'm going to go throw this thing in neutral. Okay, so I'm back. I'm going to check the transmission fluid now. You can see the transmission fluid is red, which is what you want to see. It should be red, so we're going to clean it off. We're going to put it back down in there, and we're going to check it. Another thing, a lot of these dipsticks and these dipstick tubes, they kind of guide themselves, the dipsticks will guide themselves into the tube. You don't have to show it how to, you don't have to force it. It should go in there without a whole lot of pressure. There you go. We're actually right about where we need to be. So that looks excellent. That is really, really good stuff. Okay. So, now, I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to say something else. Alright, so we've checked our engine oil, we've checked our transmission fluid, and how about coolant? Radiator coolant. Well, a couple of things you need to be looking out for. If the engine's hot, it's generally a good idea not to check it right away. Let the engine cool. However, if you don't have time, come over here and squeeze the radiator hose. You see, I can squeeze it pretty easily. If you can't squeeze it easily, it's under a lot of pressure, then don't do this. See that? Just this little time that thing was running, it's built up some pressure. So, Okay, there's nothing down in there, but we're going to look in here. Now, one of the things about coolant, people see coolant gone from the vehicle and they're thinking, oh my God, it's using coolant, it's burning it, it's got a bad head gasket or something like that. No, it can also evaporate. Water can evaporate in it. So, we can see down in there, we can see we have some coolant. Now this is opaque, this tank is. So we're gonna, okay, I can see our coolant level is just above the minimum there. It's about almost in the middle right here. Almost in the middle. So that's pretty good. You just get you a flashlight and shine it in there and you can see where your level is at. Okay? So it's not that hard. Okay? If I can get this back on there. There we go. Did that like a champ. Okay. Power steering fluid. I'm going to check the power steering fluid right here real quick. Really simple, really easy. Same thing. We got a dipstick right here. Engine off. And you can check this hot or cold. Usually, now if you look right here, it'll tell you full cold. And then it has even add. It has the add mark right there. And then a cold mark right there. So there you go. Alright, so now over here, it has the hot and add, full and add on the hot side. So one side's cold, one side's hot. So there we go. Pull that out. Oh, we don't have anything touching the stick. So we're a little bit low. A little bit low on that, so we're going to have to add some to it, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. All right, I'm going to get some power steering fluid, and I'm going to be right back. Okay, so got some power steering fluid here. There's nothing real sophisticated, nothing real special, just regular old power steering fluid. Now, you do need to be checking your vehicle to see what it takes, okay? I know Hondas are very, very particular about what kind of fluid they use. So that's really important. Okay, we're touching the stick now. Okay, so now we just need to add some more. There was no problem steering this thing, and the pump never made any noise at all. So, but I should have been checking this. But, you know, happens to all of us. Okay, we're just above the add mark on here. Yeah, we're just above the add mark. I think that's going to be good. I don't see a need to go full on with that, you know, all the way full. We don't need that. Although there's almost nothing in this bottle left, so I'm just going to take what's left in here and pour it in there. Yeah. There we go. There's just like a couple of drops left in that bottle. So anyway, okay, now we've figured that out. We've checked our transmission, our power steering fluid. We need to check our brake fluid. Yeah, that's going to be next. Now, again, your brakes, like your coolant. See your coolant. See the level? It's so easy to see now over here. But as you can see, this where the brake fluid goes in, the reservoir is very, as you can see, okay, you see there, you see that dark? That's where your brake fluid is, okay? So I'm going to open that up, let you all see that. You can see down in there, looks kind of dark, but that's about 1.5 years old, which is getting close time to change it. About 2 years is how often you want to change that. Okay, so all right, that is all the fluids on this. We're going to go check the fluids on the Charger here because, well, it's a much more modern car. It's a 20 model. Now on this, we don't have a transmission fluid dipstick. Look back here. There's none back here. Nothing like that back there. Do have an engine oil dipstick. As you can see, it's brightly colored. You also see the oil can on the dipstick right there. Again, same procedure. You can notice it's very short. This engine oil dipstick is very, very short. But we can see right here, same kind of procedures. We just want to check the level. We want to make sure it's good. Okay, I'm going to get some paper towel or something and wipe that off and check it. Be right back. We've cleaned off our dipstick. Okay. Now we're going to put it back down in here. Pull it out. As you see, that fluid, that oil looks really good. There we go. Oil looks fantastic in this. So we're right near the very full mark. You see those little crossbars right there? Anywhere between those two dots, you see the two dots there on the dipstick, and there's little crossbars, little hash marks. Anywhere between those two dots, you're in good shape. Okay? So there you go. All right. I'm not going to go through and check the other stuff on this because we did that on the truck over here. Same procedures, same ideas, same exactly everything. Okay? So, now, one more thing, real quick. Oh my goodness. You gotta go somewhere. You know, you're probably doing this right before you leave and go somewhere because you're like, oh, I need to check those fluids. What am I going to do? Now I got my hands dirty and I don't want to go back in the house and get out my keys and unlock the door. Here's what you do. You go get yourself something like this. I'm not sponsored by these people. I'm not sponsored by anybody. But you get these out. Okay? You get these out. Pull them out. You keep them in your car or truck or whatever. And now you've got something to clean your fingers with. Okay? Clean your hands. Clean up messes. So that's what I'm going to do here. Okay. And while this isn't as good as, say, a bottle of hand cleaner and some hot water or something like that, this is not too doggone bad. I mean, same hand, look. Not perfect, but that's not too bad. I'll take that. Yeah, that's pretty good. As you can see, there's my left hand. Thumbs always get a little bit dirtier, I think. Yeah. And then, there we go. Okay, so, all right. Yeah, keep you some of these in your vehicle in case you need them. Always going to be little messes or, stuff you got to do. Keep you some napkins from your fast food restaurant, or whatever. Just helps out. Okay. All right, I hope you were able to gain something from all of this and learn. I thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate you all. If you have any questions about this or any other video, feel free to ask. Oh, one more thing. Engine oil types. That's another video, and that's a video. That's where you need to be getting in your owner's manual and figuring out what kind of engine oil you need to be using. Okay? All right. I thank you very much. You all have yourselves a great evening, and God bless. Okay? And like I said, any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you. Oh, make sure you're subscribed too. Thank you. Bye-bye.